Hi everyone. Very good evening to you all. I hope am I audible. Can someone put in chat if I am audible? Just drop yes if you guys are able to hear me. So at least I come to know you guys are able to hear me. So we'll start our session. Just wait for 1 or 2 minutes more. Then we can start session. I can see the people join here, Martin, Rasmi, Ria, Rohan, Abhishek. So hope you all are doing well. So just wait for 1 more minute, then we'll start. Might be some people are joining on Zoom or many are watching on the YouTube live. So we'll take care of everyone. If anyone having any question, any doubt, then definitely we'll try to help them. Okay. Let me share my screen first so everyone can see. So this is my screen and all right. So today we having a topic to discuss about Eve and G, right? So many of you having a question like why basically we use Eve and G, right? And if you are a network or security engineer, you must know why we use the Eve and G, right? Why Eve and G? So let's start our discussion. Why Eve and G? Why you need Eve and G? So Eve and G basically known as emulated virtual environment, that using a tagline for the next generation. So you guys just have to go on the website that is belong to EVNG. That website basically known as www.ev-ng.net. So this is the website. Let me just put in the chat. So if you guys want to just have this link detail, so you can always use this. Let me just put on YouTube also. So this is a like website you guys can always visit and see about the feature, product, whatever available on the EVNG. So let's understand why we need a EVNG. If we not use EVNG, then what is the problem we have? All right. So the problem is being a network and security or cloud engineer, whatever you can think, and you are working any of the domain, you just have to do the labs, right? Why you need to do the labs? Because you want to do the hands-on practice. So let's say suppose you are the college pass out student, you just completed your BTech and you want to just grab a job in the IT sector, that in the networking, security, and cloud infrastructures. That these are the in like hot demand skill set available in the market. So basically, if you want to go in the networking domain, security domain, or cloud domain, you must have to know how networking basically works, how security basically work, and how cloud infrastructure basically work. If you don't know, basically nobody is going to offer you a job. So this is the first thing you must have to know. So the first thing, you should theoretically know that all the things. Your theory should be very clear. You able to explain the concept, what is the networking, what is the LAN, what is the WAN, what is the routing protocols, what is the switching protocols. So everything you just have to know. We'll discuss these things in like different section, like you have to do the CCNA, CCNP, CCI. So a lot of module we have for the Cisco and Juniper, another vendor also available in the market. When you just complete those modules, probably you can understand LAN, WAN, routing and switching, whatever I'm talking right now. But the most important part, let's say you completed your theoretical part. After completing your theoretical part, you must have to do your practical things. And when you want to do your practical thing, there is a challenge, right? So once you start to do some kind of testing, some kind of the checks in a live environment, practical environment, basically you not able to do that. Because whatever we have in the live, like any company is running data centers, their offices, they're having a LAN, WAN networking, routers, switches, whatever and firewall they're having, they are not going to allow to do any kind of the configuration. Because if you do any mistakes, entire infrastructure network is going to be down. So then how basically someone can do the lab and practice? So that's the major questions we have. So basically in a market, we having a lot of platform available. The platform that is known as the packet tracer, that is one platform. The second platform, that is a GNS3. The third and most, another platform also available like CML, that is also available for the Cisco modeling lab. But most important thing, where you can do whatever you want to do, that is Eve-ng, right? So when I talk about the Eve-ng, that means you can do whatever you want to do. Like you can get the actual real device kind of the access, where you just have to run whatever command you want to run, and you feel like you are working on the real environment. Even you can do on the GNS and packet tracer, but there are some limitations. But when you work on the Eve-ng, these are the like advanced emulation system, virtual environment, emulated virtual environment. That why virtual? Because these things, whatever the router switch, whatever you just think, these are not going to be physically box. That all will be the virtual box. So when these all are the virtual box, that means you can do everything virtually. No need to buy any box as a physical, right? So this is why we basically need Eve-ng. So any kind of the lab you want to do that, any kind of the practice you want to do that, like routing, switching, security, like firewall, SD-WAN, data center, whatever you think. So that all possible via the Eve-ng. Now moving next, if you go in this website and if you want to check what all vendor hardware emulation virtualization is supported by the Eve-ng, you can just have to go in the documentation and you find that how to. You just go to how to, and in how to you can see a lot of vendor platform available where you can just do testing, whatever you want, and it will give a like a real feel. No need to buy any hardware, no need to buy any license. Just you have to use free license. Many of the free license available in a different platform. You just have to do some research and just you follow to the documentation of the Eve-ng, and you can do like a lot of Android practice, Alcatel, Arista, Cisco ASA, Cisco CML, that is a Cisco's modeling image, and Cisco, like you can see these are router, SD-WAN and all. CUCM, if you are working in the voice domain, you can just do the CUCM and the call manager and everything, whatever you want to do in the Cisco CUCM. Data center manager. So Cisco ICE, lot of things, Cisco was, WLC, and Natascaler, Junipers, you can see here, Palo Alto, Panorama, Silver Peak SD-WAN, Suppose Firewall. So almost Versa SD-WAN. So almost every platform is available. Just you have to follow this all documentations, how basically things is going to be installed, and how basically we can do the lab practice. So many people I have seen struggling to do this lab work because they don't know how to basically do. And why they don't know? Because it's not very simple task where we can go and just install and we can just start doing the labs. Likewise, the GNS3 and the packet tracer. It required some kind of the process. You just have to go through the documentations. Then only you able to run these labs. So it is required some kind of a skill set or some kind of the like your additional effort by which you can just run this lab. So I'm here, I'm just going to help you all so you can at least understand how to first install the EVNG and how the devices can be virtualized or emulated over the EVNG. So the very first thing, you just have to note this website always, and you just go on this website. And after going on this website, basically you can do whatever you want to, like whatever you want to read, you can just read it here, and then we can implement in the running the labs. So here I have some platform. You can see these are the EVNG platform. It is running in somewhere in my the server. So it is a remote access I have taken, and you can see I have I can add the PC, virtual PC, but it is going to give a real kind of the PC environment. See, this is my virtual PC, but if I am going here, I can just run anything, whatever I want, ping test I want to run, I can run it. Okay. So see, might be it is not pinging because the gateway is not connected, but even it looks a virtual PC, but I can do whatever I want to do. I can run the YouTube, I can watch the video, I can run the internet, but these are not real PC. These are the virtual PC. Similarly, these are the Cisco SD-WAN vManager, and we having the router, switches, Palo Alto firewall, Versa SD-WAN, Director Analytics, and Flex Connect. So these are all modules basically. That is the different course labels basically we covered from here, but we having an entire option where we can run on the EVG platform. That is not possible in the GNS3 and the packet tracer. So if you guys are really looking for your like upgradation and you want to do some extra mile, I would recommend just go with the EVNG. Okay. Now moving next, how the EVNG can be installed, and is it free or you have to pay something? So I'll talk about these two things. All right. So first, once we visit in the documentation EVNG platform, then we can visit on the downloads, right? So if you click on the downloads, you can see some kind of the notation we are getting like EVNG professional, free EVNG community editions, right? And just forget about these all. But these two things are very important for us. So let's say suppose you are the like working professional, or like you are like trying to enter your you're trying to just get a job in the networking field, like you just college pass out or you are just doing a study, then there is an option you can get a free EVNG community editions. You don't have to pay anything. You can do whatever you want to do, just a free software available for you. Now, but if you want to run a business, right? If you want to run a business, then probably you just have to use the EVNG professional. For that, you have to pay extra, and you'll get some additional feature also, because might be in a business, you have to do a lot of things which individual basically not do, like giving the some role-based access, multiple people can access the lab at the same times, or like you just want to increase the node size. So a lot of things we can do in the EVNG professional, but EVNG community having some kind of limitations, but still for the any kind of learning, you can do everything on the EVNG community. I never recommend to go for professional unless or until you really just have a lot of money, or you just want to do some kind of fancy thing in the professional. Else, for the learning point of view, I would recommend just go with the community. You can do whatever you want to do, even till CCI level you can do the lab here, right? So these are absolutely free. No, nothing you have to pay. But if you go on the EVNG Professional, so let me just click here. So you can see there are the EVNG Professional Learning Center, and this is required to buy. So if you go to buy this kind of the software, you just have to pay amount, and that is amount you probably will see here. If I click on the buy, see, this is basically, it is required around 11,878. So almost, if you want to just convert in the dollar, you just convert it INR to dollar, you'll get the how much dollar it is going to be happen. Okay, so this much amount you have to pay if you want to just buy the professional for 1 year, and this is only for 1 year, not for lifetime. So this is how you can purchase the EVNG Professional if you really want to do that. But for the EVNG, like community version, that is absolutely free. No need to do anything. You can just see here, right? So once we ready to work with the EVNG community, then we can start doing the installation process of the EVNG. So how basically the EVNG can be installed in my PC? So the first, before you go and install any EVNG software to your PC, there is a minimum requirement. Okay, at least your PC should having 4 GB RAM, because it is going to take a RAM for this installation. Okay, and at least you having just 50 GB, I would recommend 100 GB free space for the storage. So if you having that much like the space and memory, then probably you can easily install this EVNG. So in my PC, let me show you what is the current configuration. So you can see in my case, my PC having 16 GB RAM right now, and this is the 11th generation Intel Core processor we having, right? So here you can see these are the already RAM installed here inbuilt in the PC. So I am just meeting the criteria. It is more than the 4 GB, so I can use it. No problem for me. So you also can check. You just have to go on your property of the PC, and if you're going on the property of PC, just clicking, you will find that what is the installed RAM for your case. And for the any kind of the storage, you just have to go in PC and you just see that what is the storage for C drive, how much storage is free. So in my case, you can see 100 GB is free, so I'm good. I believe 100 GB is enough for me, because EVNG is going to take by default around 50 or 40 GB of memory for just storing storage. So these are the prerequisite you have to take care while doing the installation. If you having our minimum processor should be i3, okay. Also your processor should be i3. i5 if you have that, okay. i7 if you have, that is absolutely fine. So even my case, if you see that processor, let me just show you. I believe it's so you can see it's i7 processor, so it is absolutely fine. No below than i3, so your processor should be also required. So if you're having all these three, then we are good to go for the installation of the EVNG. What next? So let's go on the website again. So now, because we are talking to install the EVNG as a free, because we are the working professional, we are a student, so we probably not required for the corporate and all. So there are two kind of the software version available to install for your EVNG. So one is, you can see that is a EVNG OVF. So this is something, it can be installed on the hypervisor. So probably you guys might be thinking, what is a hypervisor, right? So no need to worry. I'll tell you what is the hypervisor. So hypervisor is basically a mediator by which we can run one software on top of the another software. So let's say suppose this is my PC. This PC having this OS, that is Windows 10, right? So this Windows 10 basically cannot install EVNG directly here, because they don't have a capability. We can install direct EVNG on the Windows 10. So we need additional software that is known as the VMware Workstation, and that is known as the hypervisor. So let me show you here. So if you go here, you can see VMware Workstations. It is also free, no need to pay anything. So probably you have to install this VMware Workstation that is going to install on your PC. I mean your Windows machine. But if you're trying to just install this OVF file, probably it is not going to work. And this VMware Workstation is going to run the software of the EVNG. So the first thing, we have to download two software. One is like EVNG OVF file, and then second is the hypervisor. Again, another thing we have, that is the installation of the iOS. That is a, again, it is a EVNG software, but it can be installed any of the bare metal things. Like if you're not running any kind of the operating system and you directly want to install this EVNG, that is absolutely possible to install that. You can just take any server, any PC, and directly you run this OS version of the EVNG, then it is going to be hosted. No need to worry about that. But we can't do this because basically we having the PC, single PC we have. So how can we just run this EVNG in the single PC? We also need my machine should be do some kind of the other work also, like I can run the YouTube, I can check the emails, I can write anything, whatever I want in the Word and PPT. So that is required. So I would not recommend to go for this one. I would recommend just go and download the OVF file from either of the link, either from the Mega Mirror or Google Mirror. And after downloading it, you just have to download another software that is known as the VMware Workstation. So what I have to do, I just click on here, any of the link. So I'll click on the Mega Mirror, and you can see it is going to redirect here. So once I redirect, I just click. It is already downloaded. So in your case, probably, let me just open in a different window. Let me see what is happening. So here you can see it is coming as a download option. So you just have to click on download, and you can see the download is started. See, the software size is 2.67 GB. You can see here. So in next 2 minutes, it is going to be downloaded. So this is the first software we are downloading. Now the second software, as I mentioned, we need a hypervisor. That is a VMware Workstation. That is also we need to download, and it's absolutely free. No need to pay anything about this. So I just click on it, and I again go in the private window. And here I can go, and you just see here VMware Workstation Player, and just go in the download. If you go in the download, it is going to ask, there is two files are available, one for the Linux and one for the Windows operating system. So right now in my PC, you can see this is a Windows 10. So I can just go and download the Windows one, not the Linux one. If you're having a Linux PC, you can just go and download this Linux one. So I'll just click on download now, and it is also getting like start downloading. Okay. So it will take couple of minute time to complete the download. Okay. So meanwhile, what we can do, we can just have a wait to complete the download. Okay. So let me just do one thing. In my PC already this software is installed, like VMware Workstation is already installed. So let me just delete it. Let me just go in the control panel, so you guys can understand from very basic. So let me just go and let me just uninstall the old VMware player. So let me just uninstall, remove. So it is removing. So it will take some time. Meanwhile, this download is also going to be complete. So see, one is completed. That is a VMware player is completed download, and it is also going to be complete very soon. And this removal is also going to be happen. So guys, if you're having any question, please feel free to ask. Okay. And don't hesitate. just put your question in the chat window, or like whosoever having a Zoom invite, just ask question on the Zoom or put in the Zoom chat, so I can just explain a little bit more. So it is removing, it is taking some longer time. So just we have to bear and just have to wait. We don't have any option. So finally it's done. So my removal process has been done for this VMware. Okay. So now I don't have any VMware. Okay. So let me just go on the download where VMware downloaded. So the first thing, I'll go into my download and I'll see, let me just open the file. You can see this is the software I just downloaded. So the first thing, what I have to do, I have to install this software, right? So because this EVNG is going to run on this hypervisor. This is the hypervisor. Without this, I cannot run this OVF file. So I just need to go and install this downloaded file. So let me just go and start the installation. So here I just started the installation, and you can see this is starting. So I just have to click next, and then I have to accept the term license agreement. If you want to read, you can read anytime, and then next, next, and just you have to click on next and install. And the installation process is going to be start. So probably once it will be installed, then we'll move to the next step. So the first step, very first step, you need to download the softwares. One is the OVA file and one is the VMware Workstation, right? Somehow my pen is not working. Workstations. So these two software you have to just download. So we just have to wait, guys, till the time it is downloading. So you can see here the hypervisor has been downloaded. So I can just click on the finish and it is going to be finished. So my download process is finished now. You can see here, this is my VMware Workstation has been downloaded. So the first step has been completed. My VMware Workstation has been downloaded. Now we have to go and do the second step to onboard the EVNG OVA file on this VMware Workstation. So let me see what is the status of the OVA file. So it is almost 79% downloaded. You can see, but there is some issue in downloading. So no need to worry. I have already downloaded in past. You can see here, this is the file I have downloaded. You can see this file I have downloaded. The same thing is going to be happen here also. So what you have to do, you just have to extract the file. You just have to click here and just extract the file, and it is going to give a folder from the this GIF version to WinRAR version to, it is going to give a folder like this one. You can see here, this is the file. So once this export is going to be complete, it is going to give a folder. So this thing you have to do, like once download is complete, then you just have to perform these steps. Okay. So let me see. It is taking some time. So it is extracting the file from that, whatever I have here. So now my extraction has been done. My file has been extracted, And this is like, you can think this is the file that is extract from this particular folder. You can see even this file having this folder. So this folder has been extract here. And now you can put this folder as per your wish. Whatever location you want, you can put. If you want to put in the D drive, I can put here. Okay. So I can just put here in a D drive, because D drive having a higher space than C drive. So I can put in the D drive. So after moving this folder, now my EVNG download process has been done. The next thing, I have to onboard EVNG in the hypervisor, that is a VMware workstation. So how can I do that? So I have to go and open a virtual machine. I can click in here, open a virtual machine. And once I will click, I will go my D drive and I will open the folder which I just moved here. So you can see if com, that is a 5.0.1-12. I'll click here, and this is the OVA file. You can see that's it looks in the blue and the green arrow. So just have to click OK. So once you click OK, it is going to ask the name of this EVNG. So I can just put a name, that EVNG lab. So what I can do, I just put as EVNG lab. So once you put the name, any name you can put. If you want to put your name, you can put your name also, and just you have to click on the import. So once you click import, it is going to take time to import this file, because the file size is or almost 3 GB, 2.77. So it is not going to very soon completed. It will take around 2-3 minute time. Okay. So just we have to wait till the time it is complete the importing process. Okay, guys. So I'm muting myself. If you're having any question, please feel free to ask. Okay. So guys, my file has been successfully imported, and you can see here, you having a two option, play the virtual machine. That is first. If you click on it, it is going to run this hypervisor, like this EVNG platform is going to be run. And you can see the OS, that is Ubuntu based OS, that is a Linux based OS that has been taken. And this is our VMware Workstation. And the by default RAM, it is taken as a 8 GB. So what I can do, if you want to increase your RAM at any point of time, you just have to stop your machine. Let's suppose you just install and want to review your RAM and storage. How can we do that? So you just have to click here. And if you want to increase your memory, you just go and make, if you want to just make as a, whatever number you just want to, 12 GB. So you can just make it 12 GB. If you want to increase your processor, you just have to give the processor. So 8 is like, believe the maximum. So I can bear with the 8 because it is not allowing to give more than 8. Hard disk, you can see it is 60 GB by default taken. And even you want to add more hard disk, you just have to click here. You just have not expand from here. Sometimes it's not correctly work. So what you have to do, just click add here and just click hard disk and next. And this is a recommended SCSI, that is a very fast. And then you have to create hard disk. And if you want to put any hard disk size, let's suppose you want to create 100 GB more hard drive here. So you can just put 100, but I'm not going to put 100. I just put in 10 just for showcase, but you can put any number, whatever you have free space. If you're not happy with this, but I would say this is 60 GB enough for you. But in case you want to increase, you can increase. So I'm just increasing 10 GB here. So you can see this is going to be So 10 GB also added here. So total 70 GB hard disk has been added, and RAM is 12.1 GB. Earlier it was a 8 GB. This is how you can increase the RAM. Processor, if you're having a more processor, you can increase here, and that is the hard disk. And then I'll click OK. So now my machine having new hard drive, storage capacity, and new RAM. Okay, guys. So now after that, I have to play the virtual machine. So I just click on the virtual machine, and it is going to run the virtual machine. And this is the actual EVNG. It is running. And now once it is going to complete the boot process, we'll see Linux base output command. And then we can see how to check the IP address, what it has been taken, how to configure each and everything. So I'll explain step by step. And then we'll just take the GUI access of this EVNG and we'll do some kind of the lab test. So now you can see the lab, this machine is automated, take it, get the IP address, that is 192.168.1.32. This has been taken from the DSCP of my router where this PC is connected, Wi-Fi. So automatically it has been taken 1.32 IP address. Okay. But no need to worry. If you want to change the IP address by the static, I'll tell how it is going to change. So basically you have to just use the username and password to log in this EVNG. So by default, username and password, that is a root is a username and password is a Eve. Everything in a small. So you just have to use this root and Eve. So your username should be root. So I'll use the root here and password is a Eve. So once I'll put, you can see it is asking to set up a root password. So if you're happy with this Eve password, you can just type Eve. If you don't happy, you just type whatever password you want to use. So in my case, I'm just going to use my password is a Pankaj12, P in caps. So this password I'm going to use here. So in your case, you can use another password, whatever you want. So in my case, I'm going to use, this is the password. So guys, when you type this password here, it is not going to showcase anything. You just have to click on this window. This is the blue window and just you have to type the password. It is not going to visible. So let me show you. I'm typing my password. So I'm typing Pankaj. Let me Pankaj12 and I just pressing enter. See, it is asking repeat your root password. But what password I have typed, I didn't even get any kind of notification. So you just have to use your intelligence while typing the password. Your cursor should be clicked on the blue window, then you can type. So I just repeating my password and it is done. Now it is asking what should be your host name of the EVNG. So I can put like if ng lab and I just have to click OK. And it is asking the domain name server detail. So I don't have anything. You also need to, if you're having anything, you want to put the global DNS like 8.8, you can put, but if even you're not going to put, it is going to work. So I'm just putting 8.8.8 and just enter. Now there is an option you want to get IP address from the DSCP in static. So it is always going to take IP address from the DSCP. When I do the static, it will take the DSCP IP address. There is some kind of the issue, but I'll tell how it is going to be changed in different scenario. Okay. There is another way, even it is taking the IP address from the DSCP, I'll change from the static. So that part I will show. You just have to click OK. And now it is asking for the NTP for the clock synchronization. No need to put anything and just direct connection. Okay. And now everything configuration wise of EVNG has been done. So now again, EVNG is rebooting. And once it will reboot, it will get the IP address, might be the old .32. And then after getting the IP address, probably we can have the access of the EVNG. So let me show you how it is going to happen. So now you can see the IP again, it received that 192.168.1.32. And this link is very important. http://192.168.1.32. So I'll use this one. So now again, I'm going here and typing the root and my password is a Pankaj12. Once I have done, you can see this is my EVNG lab. Now, if I want to take this EVNG lab access in my putty, which is very user friendly to access that, then you have to just type the IP address, whatever you get. If you're not able to see the IP address here in this place, then you having another way to just check the IP address. You just have to go in this and you have to type a command if config / more, and then you'll see the IP address. You can see that is this interface. You have to remember that is a pnet 0, and you can see this is the IP address. Other interfaces you might not find the relevant IP address, but this is the IP address. If you see other interfaces, let me show you. You probably not find any relevant IP address from your network. You can see every interface are showing the blanks except the loopback address. All are blank. So you just have to use the IP address that is assigned on the pnet 0, right? So 192.168.1.32. So what next? You just have to go in the putty session, and you just have to type the IP address 192.168.1.32. This is the very easy for you to access the EVNG, and you want to do any configuration, you can do that. So here I'll just type the root and the password. Again, I'll see here. So now here is my EVNG access via the putty. Here again, I will check what is my IP address. You just have to run this command. It is going to run, and you can see this is the IP address. If you want to check what is my disk space available, so just you have to run a command df-h. It is going to show, see, this is the 68 GB space we have, where used space is 9.6 GB, available is 55 GB. Percentage you can see here. So you can even see the disk space also. If anytime you want to reboot your EVNG, just use this command. It is going to reboot. Okay, this is the one way it will restart. But if you want to shut down your EVNG, you have to use the command shutdown -h and now. You have to use the keyword. If you're not using the keyword now, then it is going to ask the time for the schedule down shutdown. But if you use the now and press enter, it is going to shut down immediately. Okay. So these are the basic things for the Linux you should know. Now we having a CLI access of the EVNG. Now I have to access the GUI. So how can I access the GUI? So I told, like, we having the IP, this is the IP address. So we just have to copy this IP address and we have to go in the browser, and we just have to write the HTTP and then the IP address of the event, and you just have to click OK. And see, this is my EVNG. So let me just type admin, and whatever the password you have set it, you just type the password. And now there is the drop down. One is a native console, one is the HTML console. So native console, basically we use whenever we having this window client side pack installed in your PC. That means once you install this software like the VMware Hypervisor and this OVF file, you also have to install this client pack integration. So at least they will give the putty session, VNC session, so they EVNG can connect to the directly with your putty session, another VNC player, whatever installed in your system. But if you don't install that client pack, then while logging, you just have to use the HTML console. So when you use the HTML console, your all devices is going to open in the browser, like either the Chrome browser, whatever browser you have, like Mozilla or Edge, it is going to open. But if you use a native console and your client packs are installed, then it is going to install directly come like on the putty session or the VNC session, it is going to connect. So in my laptop already, this client pack is installed. You just have to download this one, okay, window integrated pack, and you just have to install. Very simple, no need to do anything, okay. And then it is going to install. Then you just have to use the native console, and then it is going to run your EVNG. So let me see. Somehow it is giving some errors. Let me just use the. Let me see why it's creating a problem. Admin, then engagement true. Let me see. Sometime it's create a problem. No need to worry about that. It's like software sometime create a problem. Not running on somehow in this browser. Let me check somewhere else in my different browser. Let me see. HTTP. And that is 32. Let me see. And let me just write admin. Pankaj 12. No problem. Let me just restart this EVNG. Sometime it's creating a problem. So what I'll do, I'll just make shutdown now. So you guys come to know shut down minus H, and I'll just use the keyword now. So it is shut down now. You can see. So after restart, might be start working. Sometime it's create a problem, or might be I have multiple EVNG session open. It is creating a problem. I don't know. So let me just close each and everything, and then we'll see. So where is my EVNG? So I'll go in the workstation again, and I'll go in the EVNG. You can see it is mentioning it is not for the commercial use. So you can just do anything for the your learning purpose, but for commercial use, it is basically not allowed. So my EVNG is again booting. All right. Once it will boot, we'll try to again log in it, and we'll see how it is working. So root and my password. So this has been done. Now let me just go in my browser again, and I'll just type 192 like 32, and I'll just use the admin. Let me just use. So this is another EVNG. Let me just log in. So this is working, no problem. So no worry. You guys say somehow it is not working. So I'll check later why it is not, but definitely in your case, it is going to work. Might be some kind of the issue here. It is not working in, let me check in different browser. Should work. There should be not an issue, but no worry. I have another plan for you. So let me just log in here, admin, engage. So no need to worry. Somehow it is not working, but no need to worry. So if you click on here, you will going to get such kind of window. Let me just stop it here. So you're going to get such kind of window. And after getting on this window, probably let me just close this. So what you are going to get, let me just show you from beginning. So this kind of window, like I'm here, just IP change, you can see 32, another EVNG I have, that is 19 IP address. Somehow the process is same, it is working, and this is somehow not responding. Might be there is some issue. We'll check later. So here you just have to use the username and password, and then HTML and native console, whatever you want. Why there is 3 option you are getting here? Because this is the licensed one. Okay, this is the unlicensed one. That's why only we having a 2 option, but here we having a 3 option. That is a licensed one. But you just have to focus on native on the HTML console and desktop, whatever you just want to use. So here I just use the HTML console, and just I'll use the sign in. Once you'll get the sign in, probably you'll find this kind of a folder available. Okay. And once you'll get this kind of folder, you just have to run the labs. But before run the labs, your iOS image must be installed here. Your iOS image must be uploaded on the EVNG platform. And that is the key things you have to know. So that is another process you have to follow via WinSAP or FileZilla. You have to download either of the software in your laptop. So you just have to go on the browser, just have to type in Google, and you just have to put download WinSAP, right? And you can see here, there's a free software available, and you just have to download for here. That's just 11 MB software, so very quickly going to download. So you can see here, it is downloaded. Once it is downloaded, you just have to install this software. Just have to accept and install and install. It is going to be installed very fast. It is going to be installed. So it is finished. So my installation of the WinSAP has been done. No need to do anything. So the next thing, you just have to type WinSAP, whatever the software you have just downloaded, and it is going to give some kind of the pop-up window. And in this pop-up window, you just have to click a new session and use the protocol as a SFTP. And here you have to put the IP address of your EVNG. So let's say, suppose in my case, my EVNG, which is not working, that is a 32 IP address. Okay. So if I want to upload the iOS version of this 32 IP address, so what I have to do, I just have to type 192.168.1.32. And the username, whatever I have set it, that is my root, and the password 12. See, it is authenticated. So you just have to put your root username and the password, whatever you just set it for the root password. Default is root, and username is root, and password is Eve. So, but if you change the Eve password, then you must have to use those password, whatever you just set it, and then you click OK. And see, it is done. So now you having a two window. One is the left side, one is the right side. So in the left side window, what is available? That is your local drive where you just downloaded all your iOS version of your different devices. So let's say suppose you want to run the LTM F5, you want to run the Linux Kali machine, you want to run the Palo Alto router switch, you want to run like Cisco SD-Wan, you want to run like Windows PC, you want to run like anything, whatever you think, you just want to run, you just have to use from here. And this is the right side where you just have to transfer the files from left to right. So still, when you do the transfer the file, we having a 3 locations. So what you have to do, first you have to go in the root, and after going in the root, you just have to figure out the OPT. So you just have to go in the OPT directory. Then after you just have to go in the UNet labs. So you just have to go OPT and just click the UNet labs. And once you go OPT UNet labs, then you have to go add-ons. And once you go add-ons, you having 3 options. One is Dynamics, one is the IOL, one is the QMO, right? So you just have to follow the documentation where you have to install which kind of the software. So I'm just giving the generic things. If you want to see, you just have to go on the EVNG website and you just have to go on documentation. You'll find how to install. So here, let's say suppose you want to install the Palo Alto or SD-WAN image. So let me show you. So it will show you how to install. So here is a complete process. You just have to go OPT UNet lab and you have to go in QMO, right? So you can see here in my case also, if I want to install the SD-WAN lab, you have to go in the QMO folder. And in this QMO folder, you just have to put the SD-WAN, whatever you want to install with the proper file name. So see my SD-WAN Vmware is installing, transferring in the QMO. So you can see my V1 has been transferred. I want to install the VH. It is also going to be transferred, right? So this is how I have done my transfer for my the QMO, right? Even the management I want transfer, it is going to be transferred. So this is how I have done. Now, similarly, I want to know which location I need to install my Palo Alto. So I just have to go in the documentation. Let me see where is the Palo Alto. So Palo Alto, you can see here. And this is again showing the folder directory name is a QMO. You can see here the OPT, unit labs, and the QMO. So Palo Alto software must be transferred in the your this folder. So let me just come once this transfer will complete, I'll transfer the Palo Alto. So you guys come to know at least how to check where I need to transfer the files. Okay. So Palo Alto, where is Palo Alto? Palo Alto, Palo. This is, let's suppose I want to transfer this one. So I just drag and drop, or you can just copy and paste. Whatever you think, you can just do it. It is going to work. So this is the Palo Alto. Now we have to check Palo. It is getting transfer. Meanwhile, I have to check. Let's suppose you want to download the Cisco router, right? So let me just show you where it is. Cisco. So yeah. So let's suppose Cisco dynamic images. So you can see here. You just go and you find the location. That is the add-ons and dynamics. You can see here. So you just have to go OPT, unit labs, add-ons, and this is the dynamics. Okay. So you just have to go again in this folder and you just want to transfer the router or switch image, that is Cisco iOS. Then you just have to follow this folder, this path. And under this path, you just have to upload the name and all the file name, which is going to in dynamic, that should be extension of it, the image. So if you're having the image file, you just have to go and upload here. No need to worry. Okay. Directly you can go and upload here. So let me show you that how it is going to happen. So Palo Alto is taking longer time. So let them complete. Then I'll show you how it is going to happen. The next thing. So probably we have to wait some few, I believe some seconds, then it is going to be complete. So almost my transfer has been done. So this is how Palo Alto is going to, so my Palo Alto has been done, right? So once Palo Alto transfer has been done, then you have to do your routers. So I said router image always should go on this. You just copy and go in dynamics and you just have to paste here. So your router also image has been transferred. Okay. It's very fast. It's very small size. It is going to happen very fast. So this is how you can download your router image. But if you want to download some switch image also, which is a bin file. So just always select the all bin files. These are the bin file. We're having the switches detail and just copy it with this Cisco keygen, that is a script iSource. Along with that, you just go in the QMO and here's the bin. And so whatever the bin file you have, just go and paste in the bin file. That has been done. Once everything has been done, still, Cisco SD-WAN, whatever images you have done, it is not going to work for you because you just have to change the extension of the files. Right now, whatever file I have just uploaded here, so whenever we do the SD-WAN session, I'll explain how it is going to be changed. But for Cisco router, it is done. No need to worry about that. So, but Palo Alto, it is going to work, but Cisco is not going to work. We have to change the extension of the file. So that is a different thing. I'll explain how it is going to be happen. So next thing, we have done each and everything, but still it is not going to work. Why it is not going to work? You have to fix the permission. So you just have to log in the CLI command of this, and just you have to use the password, and then you just have to use this command to fix the permission for either of the devices. So you can see this is the command. You just have to use this is command. You have to remember. You can find anywhere of the installation process to fix the permission. Without fixing the permission, it is not going to work. So you just have to run this command. So it is going to fix all your iOS based permissions, whatever you have. So see, now it's done. Automatically it's done. And it is saying like your permission has been done. Still it is not opening. No need to worry. So we having this kind of a folder again. So now my iOS has been uploaded. So if I create a new test lab, new if ng lab, and I'll just save it here. And now you can see my screen is blank. But if I go and add the node, and I want to just add the router, you can see it is going to show me the router. So this is my router. If I want to run this, add the switch, it is like a real switch. So you just have to go, this is the switch 3725. So I can add the switch. I can change the switch version icon. From here, you can change the icons, whatever icons. So where the switch icon? Firewall, where is switch? Let me see. It is, yeah. So you can see L2, L3 switch, whatever you want to give the name, you just give it. Anytime you can edit the name, it is looks like the switch. And if you want to run the SD-WAN, like if you want to run the Versa SD-WAN, so Versa SD-WAN image are also there. You can see Versa director. If you want to run the Versa controller analytics, you can just run it here from the Versa. So upcoming sessions like Versa SD-WAN is going to start on this platform. So anytime you guys can contact us, no need to worry. So this is the Versa. So these are all, I have already done the uploadation process. So even the Cisco SD-WAN, you can see this is the Vmware. These are the controllers for the SD-WAN. And this is the VH, this is the router, Cisco SD-WAN router. So even this image also started. And what else? We having the vSmart. So one by one, we can add the devices. And what else? We manage. So these are the controllers, 3 controllers we having a Cisco SD-WAN. These are 3 controllers, and this is the router. And this is the Versa SD-WAN controller. These act as a controller and router both, analytics and directors. And these are the normal router, normal switch. And similarly, if you want to Palo Alto firewalls, this is also available here. So these all devices I have added, even PC, whatever PC I have to just go in the PC and you just change the icon for the PC and you can just see this is also added. And if you just want to go and start these devices, you can just click here and the devices are going to be start. Okay, so you can see success 16 devices are starting. So these things are running in the server. That is the Dell server. That is very high capacity of servers. That's why it is able to run the all devices at the same time. But might be in your system, it is not going to run because you have just having the very less storage and memory and CPU. So that is not going to work. But in real, if you're having the server environment where you're having the very high capacity of RAM, high capacity of the CPU, then it is going to run. So if you open the Cisco, it is going to open here. So you just, because it's HTML, so it is opening here. So you can see here the switch. So if I want to change the color, I can just go here and get in black. And see, this is the switch. So it's very big screen. So let me just, so you can see here is a switch. So if you want to check the show IP interface brief, it will show. If you want to create the VLAN, so VLAN 123 name test, you can create the VLAN and do right. So this is how you can run the switch VLAN configuration and all. Similarly on the router, if you click on the router, somehow it is not working. Let me add some other router. Let me just add this router. Let me see it is working or not. So might be this image having some issue. So I'll change it. So I have a lot of images. Palo Alto firewall, you can see it is also booting. Okay. So Palo Alto is also booting. So if you check the Versa Edge, V Edge, that is also, if I want to log in here, you can see I'm able to log in here. Okay. And you can see this is the VH router configuration I can see from here. So let me see what else. Let me put on the browser, and this is also on the browser. Now, if I want to check the Versa director, it is working or not. So I can just click it. See, it is also starting. So this is how you can do the start different images if you want to do that. So here you just have to admin and you just have to use the Versa 123 password. See, this is the Versa like Flex VNF. This is like acting as a VH. So this is also working. Versa. Let me check the analytics. What is analytics doing? So it is also working. Versa 123. See, Versa analytics. So this is also working. So a lot of images I have done and it is all working. So there is summary of this session is like you have to work on 3 platforms. Your laptop should be capable to handle the EVNG requirement, that is minimum 4 GB RAM, i3 processor, and at least 60 GB storage. That should be the first requirement, free storage, right? Second thing, you just have to run the VMware workstations. And under the workstation, you have to download the OVA file of EVNG. That is a free community editions. Once you've done 3 steps, you have just use the WinSAP or FileZilla to transfer the iOS image from your local drive to the EVNG platform. So this is how once you've done, then probably you can able to access the EVNG devices. And you can see these are the virtual device, but they will give the real feel of the networking. Whatever you want to do that, you can just run the router, you can run the switch, you can just run whatever you want to do. Yes, Sam, you can ask the question, whatever you have.
Yeah, hello. Good evening, bhai.
Yeah, good evening, good evening.
If someone has means for to run SD-WAN labs means to
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
can you explain? Actually, I missed that point. Maybe you means you.
So for SD, especially who want to run the SD-WAN lab on their system. So let me show you the requirement of the SD-WAN. Thanks for asking this question. There is really good questions. People, you can ask any question if you're having. See, so if you want to run the vBond, vEdge, and vSmart and vManage, these are the 4 devices at least required. So at least you required controller, that is one vSmart, one vManage, and one is the vBond. So 3 things required, right? So these 3, without these 3, you cannot run the SD-WAN lab. And whatever you have site, that much you require the VHs. So let's say suppose you want to make 3 site, 2 site. If you even you want to do the 2 sites for testing, so 2 VH must required. Okay. So now you just calculate how much RAM is going to require. So here you can see if you want to run one vBond, you minimum required 1 GB RAM. If you want to run one VH, you minimum required 1 GB RAM. If you want to run the vSmart, you minimum required 2 GB RAM. If you want to run the vManage, minimum required 16 GB RAM. So at least to run 2 VH along with the controllers, you required 16 plus 4, 21 GB minimum required RAM. Okay, minimum RAM should be 21 GB. If your computer having that much RAM, at least 22, 23 GB, then you can run this SD-WAN labs. Along with that, might be you connect the switch and router, that is also going to require additional RAM. So I would recommend at least should you have 32 GB RAM or 64 GB RAM, if available in your system, you can easily you can run your labs. And vCPU, you can see it required around 8 to 10 vCPU to run the lab. So here you can just calculate the RAM requirement and the vCPU requirement. So is it clear,
Yeah.
Sam, for you, right?
So we can practice means in 32 GB means perfectly.
Yes, 32 GB if we have, it is going to perfectly work, right? So you just have to follow this process, what I just explained right now.
Okay.
And I'll tell how the iOS is going to be transferred. That is in the different session. Even the iOS transfer we come to know, but how the extension is going to be changed. So there is a set of the process we have to follow. Like you just have to go in a directory where you just copy the iOS, like this is the command, and then you just have to change the extension of the file, whatever you have downloaded. So in my case, if you see the extension of the file, whatever I have downloaded, let me just show you. These are the different what should required for the lab. So you can see here the QMO. If I go in the Vmware, this is the extension of the file, like some name and then .q cow2. But this should be the extension of the file. This should be the extension of the file. So this name must be changed to this name. For that, you just have to use this command in the CLI after going on this directory. So this process, I'll explain how this things is going to happen, because in the SD-WAN lab, we do from very scratch. And someone, because I basically build even the controllers for the, SD-WAN Cisco controllers, SD-WAN Versa controllers. And once head-end controller built, then we integrate the sites and also integrate the firewalls, and then we do the practice. So at least we can have the real time look and feel. People not like feel like I'm not able to understand how the things is going on. No, you can just have a full access. You can just do whatever you want to do. I'll just tell the each step process how it is going to happen. So I hope that is clear to everyone. Okay. So yes, Sam. So for Versa SD-WAN configuration, the process will be same, but there is some kind of the different approach you have to follow. So for that, even I have very good documentation. So let me just show you for Versa SD-WAN. So this is my server. So let me just go on my PC. So here Versa SD-WAN, if you want to do for the Versa SD-WAN, so there is some kind of different process we have to follow, not exactly same, and there are multiple steps you have to do. And where is the Versa? You guys able to see Versa SD-WAN or not? No, here.
Not here.
Where it?
Same
Okay.
32 GB as well. The same one configuration we need.
Configuration wise. Okay. Let me just tell configuration wise. Okay. For Versa SD-WAN, the configuration would be the difference. Let me just tell where is the Versa? Yeah, this is the Versa. So this is going to require 16 GB RAM to run 3 controllers at least. Okay. And whatever site you have, accordingly, just add 4 GB more. So every device required the 4 GB. So if you want to run 2-3 routers, it is again required the 4 GB. So at least 20, 25, 32 GB, it is also required, right? So without it, you can't do anything. So this is how it is going to happen. But I just wondering, where is my Versa document? Eh? Versa lab 1, we don't have Versa. Okay, see, this is the Versa SD-WAN. So here is every steps I have written for how to install director and all. So everything is like ready made. I have tested each and everything in very details. So it is not like something we are going to struggle. Everything is going to very smooth because I have invested a lot of time in testing and the R&D, and then I'm ready to full-fledged. Likewise, that you guys, if you guys know and attend my Cisco SD-WAN session, so I have given more than 20 batches in this year. So I have everything like clear like how things is running. But for the Versa, this is something new. So for that also similar kind of the feeling you guys are going to get from here. No need to worry about all, because the concept will remain same. I'll integrate Versa and the Cisco and SD-WAN together. So at least we can see how inter-vendors SD-WAN solution is going to work. So I believe we have already exceed our times. It was just supposed to 1 hour, but no worry, it was very interesting for me. So before closing this session, anyone having any other question? I can say people are very silent here.
Yeah, I have a quick question, bhai.
Yeah.
Just you said that intercommunication between two vendors. Is it possible? In that means, is it ready to run?
This is possible only by using the legacy infrastructures, not directly. So we just have to mediator.
Company are using that in intercommunication with means like as one side is Cisco Webtila and other side is let's say Versa SD-WAN.
Yeah, definitely it is possible. We can integrate them.
Means
Just we
are they
need
using in the production?
Not production, because it is like become complicated, but you might find in ISP environment, right, where one ISP is running in the Versa SD-WAN for their WAN infrastructure. Might be Airtel is running in the Versa, but you find the Vodafone running the Cisco. So at some point, NNI point of view, PE point of view, they have to do integration to exchange the routing. So how it is going to happen, right? Makes sense?
Yes.
It is not possible globally. Every vendor is using the one like every ISP is going to use one vendor. It is not possible. So that integration also people should know how it is going to happen.
Okay, and see if any candidate takes SD-WAN or Versa or Cisco Webtila, the concept is same or something is different?
See, SD-WAN concept will remain same. It is not going to be changed. Okay. Whatever SD-WAN we having the controller, I'll explain this. This session is going to happen on Sunday. So this is the first session where I explain what is SD-WAN, what is SD solution, and I will not talk about the vendor specific. I will talk about the general, and then we'll discuss about the vendor specific. The concept, like we are working the Cisco router, we are working the Juniper router. Both are doing the routing. Both are running the routing protocols, right? Both are doing the switching. But what is difference? The difference is the hardware platform. That is only different. The command line configuration. That is only different. The same thing in the any of the SD-WAN. Even you go for the Versa SD-WAN, you go for the Cisco SD-WAN, you go for the Palo Alto SD-WAN, you can go for the Silver Peak SD-WAN. Your logic concept will remain same, but the configuration steps is going to be changed. Some protocols is going to be changed. Might be Cisco having their own protocols, that is the OMP for the running the controllers. In Versa, they are running the open source protocol, that is a BGP. So that is going to be interesting for everyone. Some other vendor is using some other protocols. So we having a different kind of the vendors, different vendors having a different solutions, different platform, but end goals are remain same. Everyone having the controllers, everyone having the underlay, everyone having the overlay, everyone having the remote size, and then they are going to integrate all together to make the SD-WAN fabric. So no worry, I'll explain these all in upcoming sessions. So probably people having the good idea about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for asking the question. So guys, I can see people are here, but not asking the question. So I'm just assuming you all are clear. But just write an email and contact our support team if you're having any further query. Definitely we'll try to help. And tomorrow we having the Palo Alto live session, guys. So if you all want to join, you can join, or you can watch from the YouTube session. Okay. So that would be like packet flow we'll understand. And then after from Monday onward, there will be no any live session for Palo Alto. So that's all. So thank you so much, guys, and have a great day ahead. And see you tomorrow again on the same time. Bye-bye. Take care.